Welcome to Metropole Business Center this Tuesday, the 4th of November 2020. And as usual, you know, if it's Tuesday, we're casting the spotlight on the small, medium enterprise sector in the country. My name is Ingrid Nantege, and we'll start off with a story that will lead us into the day's interview. Now, millions of small businesses continue to suffer financial starvation and the risk of closure as a result of the hit they took at the hands of COVID-19. This is despite the government's promise to set up a credit guarantee scheme for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, as a recovery measure. According to reports in the Daily Nation newspaper, 7 months since the pandemic hit the country and more than 3 months after the gradual reopening of the economy began, millions of small businesses are still suffering financial malnutrition, while thousands have already closed shop. The Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, KNCCI, Tuesday said about 3 million of its members are in need of cash injection. The Association of Bar Owners also announced recently that some 21,000 locals, hotels and other businesses failed to reopen due to lack of cash and stock over the pandemic. Equity Bank recently signed a memorandum of understanding with KNCCI aimed at having the chamber's members access credit from the lender. Now, joining me today to talk about the current state of small and medium enterprises in the country and the challenges that they continue to face amid the COVID-19 pandemic is the Secretary General of the Kenya National Federation of Jua Kali Associations, the Nakuru chapter, Assumpta Wangoi. Thank you very much for making time to join us here today, Assumpta.
Thank you. How are you, viewers?
Assumpta, can you hear me? Thank you for joining us today on Metropole Business Center.
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Thanks for making time.
Thank you so much.
Now,
let me say hi to the viewers.
Absolutely. Now, I'm sure you've had the figures. Small and medium enterprises in the country continue to grapple, particularly this year, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, from where you're seated as the Secretary General of the Kenya National Federation of Jua Kali Associations Nakuru chapter, what would you say is the current state of SMEs in the country? And you could even paint a picture for us when it comes to your jurisdiction in Nakuru.
Well, thank you. Actually, the micro and small entrepreneurs are really affected with the pandemic. And the businesses are very low. And also, I can say that it is not easy to come up again without being supported, maybe financially, and also looking into the measures of COVID-19. Here in Nakuru, it's kind of, we have the second wave, which is people are afraid of. Actually, some are not even opening. And yeah, the state is quite bad here in Nakuru. And the micro and small entrepreneurs, you know, they have to work, they have to open without the fears, they have to open. And the most challenging part of it is that when they closed, they used whatever they had, of course, for daily supporting their families, eating and all that stuff, and then coming back to their jobs. They don't have money to start over again. The government has really promised that they are supporting the SMEs, but actually we have not felt the support. We have not gotten any money pertaining the same to support. So I can say we really need a lot of support to come back to the normal situation.
Now, Assumpta, you've clearly put it that the SME sector is still grappling with so many challenges. Now, earlier on in the year, when we had just reported COVID-19 and the government went into overdrive to, you know, introduce measures to curb the further spread of the disease, we saw so many small businesses in the country go under, close shops. In fact, the numbers were even in the millions. And then we got to a point where the government eased some of these restrictions with the hope that they'll breathe some life into a sector that has already been struggling. Would you say the easing of the restrictions somehow, even in the minutest way, helped the sector, or is it just a really bad situation? What would you say about easing of the restrictions and the impact it had on the sector?
Absolutely nothing has been done pertaining the SMEs. The president himself said that he has set aside some money through the Equity Bank to empower the sector to make sure that they come back to their feet once again. But let me say, okay, we are trying. We're making efforts. We are trying to empower the fraternity. The Equity Bank is trying also to train the members, but actually they are training, but we have not received any money. So the members are like, yes, we have trained. When are we getting this money? How much are we expected to repay back the money with in terms of interest? And how long the duration of this money that we shall be given? But absolutely no one has received any money from the said kit to come back to the normal routine of their businesses. We are wondering. Actually, we are wondering.
So, Assumpta, what you're saying then is the government is putting in place all these measures, but they're not really trickling down to their required recipients. So, what would you say in terms of interventions needs to be done? And do you feel then it's an aspect of lack of proper stakeholder engagement?
I would say the implementation has taken too long. And I think the government is willing. Okay, the president himself is willing to support the sector. But let me say, maybe the route he's taking, or the channels that the money he's saying is being channeled through, it is taking too long to reach the people, the said people. And actually, also I would say, like the Juakali sector, which comprises of the small and micro entrepreneurs, name them the mamambogas, the saloonists, the agro business people. All these are in the Juakali sector. And when the president says that he has given this amount of money to the sector to empower, to ensure that their businesses are back to normal after the COVID-19, I thought, and I would propose, because we have the structure, the Kenya National Federation of Juakali, it is very important to make, he said that the Juakali people should be the center stage, but this is not the case. Because if we are the center stage, then the management of the Juakali sector could have been involved in the decision making of how the money will be trickled down to the SMEs themselves. But now the challenge is, going to the banks it is not an easy thing. And also during this COVID, the movements were also not friendly because of the measures of the health. And I think we are in a capacity as a federation to reach to direct to the people. And I think the president himself, if the national government really meant to help the micro and small entrepreneurs, he could have directly involved the leadership in the entire country. Because my sister, everyone in the entire country, the Juakali people are complaining.
Right.
Call the Vihiga people, we talked the other day, they are complaining. Call the Mombasa people, we have a platform, they are still complaining. Call wherever, call even Darakanivi, everyone is complaining. And actually the other day we were saying, the president said that the Juakali sector should make the desks. It is so surprising that they came up with a cost, and they never involved not even a single Juakali artisan. And we are wondering, how did they come up with such a cost? And
right.
Those costs actually, the artisans are just those who engaged, those who are given an opportunity to do the desk work. Actually, they are struggling because the materials are very expensive. Right. And the cost, the 3,800 that was said for a desk, a chair, and a table, actually the artisan is making 100 shillings or maybe 200 shillings. And he's involving a lot of energy and also engaging so many artisans so that they can be delivered in due course because of the timeline. So I'm feeling the government is failing on one way or the other, 100%. Because when they are engaging, they are doing those things, they are up.
Right.
With the leadership, I don't know which leadership. And they expect the small and micro entrepreneurs to work. How do they work? I expected them to sell the idea to us, and then we consume the idea, we sit down and we give the cost, because the ordinary cost is 4,500. Where did they get this 3,800? Actually, they are not empowering the micro and small entrepreneurs, but they are pulling them down. Right. Let me put it like this. They are being used.
Wow. Wow.
They are being used. We are very disappointed, or we are discouraged. We don't know where to go to. We don't know whom to tell now, because it came from the president, is not delivered to us the way we expected. We don't know whom to cry to. But we thank God for the medias, because the times they come and cover us, we talk it out, but it is never heard. Right. And I think something needs to be done.
So Assumpta, from what you're saying, it's like there's no doubt that the SME sector is most definitely aggrieved, and the grievances have been brought to the fore, particularly now during COVID-19, because a lot has been affected. However, the one thing I'm picking is the biggest problem with the sector is the issue of just finances for SMEs to run their businesses. Would you say there are other challenges that are really, really pressing, that have really, really become, again, to the fore during this period, that need urgent attention away from the issue of finances that seems to be the biggest at the moment?
Okay, the small and micro entrepreneurs have not been looked into as this kit that was set to help everyone in the whole country. Like there was this issue of food, there is this issue of the masks, this issue of the sanitizers. Actually, my people, we have not received anything from the government. And also, even empowering them to get their food. I understand there is this money that was set to be given to the people for the upkeep for those days. And actually, many of us, I don't know how people take the small and micro entrepreneurs, those people who are opening their shops and actually stay there till evening and they have not gotten anything, and they assume that those people have money. No money was given to them. So we are still appealing to the government. These people are like any other people. We see other groups being looked into. But why is this sector, why is the government saying that we are the economy movers? And yet, they don't want to prove to us that it is true we are the economy movers, and also we should be looked into like the people really that are moving the economy of this country. So we don't want to hear it being said. We want to see. Right. We want to feel it.
Finally, Assumpta, I mean, there's a bit of corridor talk about, you know, there's a surge in COVID-19 cases in the country. So there's, you know, talk here and there of a looming other lockdown where, you know, the government is going to again have to introduce new measures. If in the events, in fact, Nakuru County is one of those counties that has really, really been seeing a surge in cases. So in the event that, you know, the government does take this direction and we go back to a situation where we're locked down, where do you think this is going to leave the SME sector that's already, if I could loosely put it, on its knees?
Well, we will absolutely be down. We will absolutely have no way out unless something has to be done. Because if we close once again, that means these people will not be able to place a plate of food on the table. These people, if they will be at a later date take their children to school, it means they won't. And they will be left worse than they were there before. So what I'm saying is that unless government comes with a new mode of empowerment, these people will not be able to rise up again. And I'm also thinking, well, I don't know how to go about it. I don't know whether the sector, we shall now be looking for donors or something of the sort, because our government has let us down. For us to come up again, I think we have to engage whoever is willing, whichever organization is willing to come in, to chip in and empower our people. Otherwise, it shall be, in fact, even right now in Nakuru, it is pathetic. It is pathetic. People are starving.
Right.
People are sleeping without food. People do not have even the sanitizers. People, my sector, we don't even have the masks. Actually, this government said that they are giving us tenders to make masks, at least to have something else, doing something else, because the businesses are not performing anymore. But actually, we are wondering what is happening with Kenya National Chambers and KEMSA, because this tender of the masks has taken too long. Then now this is the second wave. Even in the first wave, we were not given the tenders. And we can see, in fact, even the government is not giving people masks. We are scared. Here in Nakuru, we are totally scared. And I think unless the government do something, these economy movers will shut down. And now I wonder who will be moving the economy. And now what will the government be saying? That and whom will they be calling the movers of the economy of this country?
Thank you very much.
We are scared. We are desperate.
Right. Thank you, Assumpta. Like you rightly put it, the SMEs are actually the engine drivers of this economy. And if things stay the way they are, and with COVID still here with us for a while, we obviously need concerted efforts from all those concerned. That was Assumpta Wangoi, the Secretary General of Kenya National Federation of Juakali Associations, Nakuru chapter. We're going to take a very quick break right now, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we have so much more on SMEs in the country. We'll be right back.